Ryan Poles anxiously waited after selecting quarterback Caleb Williams as the #1 pick in the NFL draft. His excitement was palpable as he anticipated the chance to make his most coveted draft dream a reality, to pair Williams with who some would argue is the best receiver in this year's draft class, Rome Odunze. JaMarcus Shephard understands why Poles and the Bears were so excited to unite with Odunze. Having served as the wide receivers coach and passing game coordinator at Washington for Rome's final 2 college seasons, Shephard is well aware of Odunze's big play ability and strive big mentality. Shephard, now at Alabama as wide receivers coach and co-offensive coordinator, couldn't say enough about his beloved wide receiver in a recent interview with the Chicago Tribune. When asked how would you paint the picture of what the Bears are getting in Odunze, and what will be your lasting impression of coaching him, it's just the human being that he is. I mean, Rome is a great player, but he's an even better person. He's going to be the person who's going to stay and sign every autograph at the end. He's going to treat every person that's in his presence as if they're the only person on earth. He just has an uncanny ability to relate to every person he meets. So it's the human being that he is that I'm going to miss more than anything else. His football IQ came up repeatedly throughout the pre-draft process. When asked how would you describe his feel and understanding for the game, Shephard replied, "It's as high level as anybody I've ever coached. The young man truly understands. It was to a point where I needed to find ways to continuously challenge him during the meetings in order to ensure that I was keeping his attention. Obviously, he is a professional, so he was always going to pay attention, but I wanted him to be fully engaged in those meetings. So he was learning about the D-line and techniques of the D-line. He was learning about the different pressures and really, truly understanding exactly what the quarterback is reading on play concepts. So I knew for Rome going into those pre-draft meetings that he was going to crush that piece of the interview process." When asked about Rome's combination of size and speed, Shephard explained, "At one point I told him he didn't create enough separation, and he'd say, 'Coach, I'm faster than them.' I even had it written on my board at one time. I still have a picture of it. What he said he was going to run in the 40 versus what I thought he was going to run. Of course, me being a coach, I was going to make it a little bit worse than what he thought he was going to run. But the guy just has this quiet confidence about himself. At times I would call him Rome the philosopher versus Rome the warrior. But at times this warrior mentality would come out just in how he talked and led his teammates. Then at other times it would be this philosophical approach to how he led it and approached his teammates. I knew the size and speed aspect of it was also going to come. He was deceptively faster than a lot of guys on the field who we were going against. But he's also big enough that he can bully you at the point of attack. And as he felt NFL scouts starting to say, hey, he wasn't creating enough separation. He needs to find a way to catch more 50-50 balls. We're getting too open. He realized that was going to have to become a part of his game to be a high-level receiver. And he strengthened that. Rome talked on draft night about how the journey with a team that got all the way to the final game of last season was valuable for him to see what it took collectively to get there. What do you think he can take away from that experience to help perform something similar in Chicago? You think about a roster at Washington that had experienced some of the lowest of lows and going 4-8 in 2021. You see the head coach no longer be a part of the staff, and a brand new regime come in and to build right away and not take a second to wait. I think that's what Rome will bring to the table in Chicago. He's not going to be a patient individual. He's going to be ready to do it right now. And I think the city of Chicago and the whole fan base just needs to get behind them. 100%. I know our fan base at the University of Washington was behind us from day one. There were no Fairweather fans. They all just jumped on board and said, hey, these are the cards we were dealt. Let's go battle it out with each other. So the fan base in Chicago should just jump on board and enjoy the ride. How valuable was it for Rome to have an opportunity to carry a team in the biggest moments of a college football season? I honestly wish that on every player in the country to have that pressure put on you to be able to carry it, because you find out what you're really made of as a human being and as a young man. So there's no doubt about it that's going to aid him in helping carry this team. Look, everybody knows there are always nicks and bruises and things of that nature when you get into the National Football League. But somebody has to step up in those big moments, and Rome stepped up. Through a punctured lung, through various other things that went undisclosed. So he's going to step up and be that guy who will be available. The best ability is availability. Lastly, as both a football coach and a football fan, Shephard obviously had some level of intrigue about the pairing of Rome and Caleb Williams, saying, I think it'll be a cool story to write one day, just how they came in together and eventually became something special there together as well. but they still have a lot of work to do in order to get there. Neither one of them are finished products. Everyone expects them to come in and flip the script right away. And they expect that too. However, even what you saw with Rome and Mike Penix together at Washington, there was a level of comfortability that grew with them in year 2 that was even that much better than year 1. So hopefully that connection can really spark early and give them a chance to highlight the city of Chicago within the next year or two.